On this episode of the Reynolds Team Podcast, I'm joined by team leader Scott Reynolds to discuss the business of real estate. Scott, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks for having me. This is something new for us, doing it through Zoom, which I think is pretty neat. Kind of gives us some capabilities of sharing some notes. So thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It is a pleasure to have the man himself of the Reynolds team on the show.
Oh, man.
So I do want to get into introducing you and your background in real estate and how you became the leader of your own real estate firm, if you'd like to go into that.
I started in real estate in 2002, so almost 20 years ago. And it was at a neat time where technology was starting. So I started in Cleveland, Ohio, and we moved down to Vero Beach in the 05, 06 timeframe. And ever since then have been, in real estate, the whole time been in real estate. And started off as a single agent, then added the assistant, and then added other teammates from just having a volume of business. Kind of learned the hard way of the importance of having an assistant. I found myself doing everything, but not the things that were necessarily helping all the clients. So I was able to get an assistant to help me out with some of the things I'm not as good at, and which gave me the ability to spend more time with my clients. So then we got more, then added more support. And then the team just kind of grown over the past 3 years. And we've got our own office here at Compass. And it's our office is dedicated to just our team. And so that's kind of how we got here.
Well, it's quite the story. And I'm sure that as team leader, you kind of have to take a bird's eye view of not just how your team's being managed, but also just of how the business of real estate is being run in 2021, whether it's all the new technology that comes up every year or all different tools and resources that really optimize your role as a team leader and all the agents' day-to-day jobs. So I understand that you wanted to share kind of the mapped out process of, or just kind of the overview of what that system looks like.
Yeah, I started drawing on a whiteboard because, if I talk about it, sometimes it's hard to visualize it. So I just thought I would do a quick little whiteboard of lining out the basics of how our team is able to manage and leverage their, working with a lot of clients that may not necessarily be ready to buy or sell right now, but is a way to stay connected with the clients and helping them with different information that they're looking for. So not everyone's ready to buy or sell right away, but you need a system for staying in touch. And so a lot of times I'm asked, what CRM do you use? And the kind of the punchline or the fun part is, it's the CRM that the agent will use. And so we vetted a lot of different companies, and we have a nice CRM that we use. And truthfully, it's whatever, CRM that, each agent feels comfortable with. And but the CRM is really the hub of the agent's business. And with that, I'll just it's probably easier to jump to the whiteboard. Bear with me here. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, I believe I can see the Zoom page. Okay,
so,
and diagram up.
So this was just a quick little whiteboard that I did that kind of lines out how some of the tools that our agents use. And again, a lot of it is to kind of keep the agents in front of the clients that are looking to, look at properties, see properties, negotiate on properties, and also assist them to stay in touch with the buyers or sellers that are just now thinking about selling or just thinking about buying, but maybe not quite ready. so that a way where we can stay in touch and stay in contact with them and be ready when they are ready. Because a lot of clients, the biggest complaint with clients, I hear from buyers or sellers is my agent never, stayed in touch with me. And so, we've developed a system that really works for us, and just thought I'd kind of share it of how some of the principles are laid out. You can see my mouse move okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here is the hub is the CRM that you use. And what all the CRM is, usually it's integrated with your website, and actually it's integrated with any other tools that you have. So integration is kind of the key to CRM, and our team kind of lives in the CRM so that we can stay in contact with our to-dos and the follow-ups and the nurtures and the people that are interacting on our website. So this just kind of outlines that a little bit.
So when you say CRM and how the agents and yourself interact with it, what all do you mean by that? Like what tools and what resources are they using in the CRM to keep up with their clients?
Yeah. So the CRM does probably 70% of it. It has a lot of the follow-up systems, email system. So that's the piece here, like the communication piece. So you should be able, with a good CRM, be able to text within the CRM, and email within it, and do video email, and of course phone calls. And the beauty of that is everything's kind of logged in the CRM, so that you can kind of see a log of what the communication has been with your clients. Because keep in mind, not all of them are the ones that you're showing homes to or listing their home right now. Those are easy to keep track of. It's the ones that you're nurturing from that may be coming out next season, or when they retire in the next summer, and may not be quite ready. And so you can see the different dialogues you guys have had, and making sure that you're assigning to-dos and things like that to remember that on a certain period of time that you need to reach out to your client and touch base with them. So that's the communication piece.
So it definitely sounds very involved. And I think about just how much information can be stored in a CRM. How does one go about categorizing all that data and all that information about your clients to where you can work in an optimal manner?
Yeah, a good CRM actually makes it easy. So it's really not complex. It sounds complex because it's drawn out, but it's really, really simple. But on the way to manage it is like some of these client statuses. And so, a new registration or a new client may need like some more immediate help and attention, and talking to and seeing, what their wants and needs are. Whereas a nurture may be, 30 to 60 days out. And so these categories are set because they're all at different, all these things mean is what time period that they need to be in. And these time periods change all the time, but at least you can, like, today is Thursday and I want to check my HOTS. So the people that are going to buy or sell in the next 30 days, those are the people that need the attention the most. And then you can switch over to your other categories that are due for that day or that week, and touch base with them. So it's a way to organize all the different time periods is based on their category.
And so when you're funneling in all these different clients and people and their real estate needs to keep up with, besides that, is there any way to really get into the specifics of tracking past clients, tracking houses that are on the market, tracking what all these different categories are looking at in real time?
Yeah, so we like to track the lead or client sources. So the sources, whether it's a past client, center influence, you met them at an open house, or online leads, whether it's Realtor, Zillow, Google pay-per-click, the old Trulia, and there's probably about 20 different sources. I'll come back to those in a minute. And then there's seller, potential sellers that you're working with. So you can kind of categorize all the different lead types and lead sources so that it's easy to go over to the business intelligence later, and we'll talk about it in a minute, and kind of see how your business is coming so you can analyze, where to spend marketing dollars. So you know what, my point of talking about the lead sources also was in relation to the CRM is if the source has to call you on your phone and it's not funneling into your CRM automatically, you don't want to be a data import person. Like all of our registrations to our team happen automatically in our CRM, so that it's easy to track and have and doesn't create any duplication. And to be quite honest, it actually gets into the CRM as opposed to your notebook that you carry around and you end up losing. So
Right. So to borrow a pretty mainstream tech phrase, is it's all in the cloud. And because it's all in the cloud, it all connects together in one easy spot to keep track of everything that you need to manage and keep up with in terms of communicating and tending to your clients' needs.
yeah, and of course the CRM is on your phone. It's an app on your phone. It can be on your iPad, it can be on your desktop. So it's wherever you are. And you take away one of your terms in the cloud. If you lose that device or whatever, everything's in the cloud. So you get the new device and you rehook it back up. So this is kind of like the home of the agent here, the CRM. And the other piece here I wanted to kind of talk about is the business intelligence. There's a few systems that are out there that are really good. We're using Sisu, and it's integrated in with Boomtown, which is the CRM we use. So they have a two-way communication so that all the actions that are happening in the CRM is being tracked in the business intelligence, so that each agent can have like a business plan and kind of see on a yearly basis, quarterly basis, and all the way down to a daily basis of the activities that they are doing on a daily basis to get to their goals. So I just threw down like 6 or 7 key track, of the business intelligence, the tracking and measuring, the number of clients, the number of contacts, and the number of appointments set and met. Those, a lot of times we call them leading indicators, because if the agent is doing this properly, the number of contracts and closings not automatically happen, but they usually, at the end of the day, our business is a contact sport. So you got to talk to people and communicate with people in order to get contracts and closings. So if these leading indicators are done, then the contracts and closings. If the leading indicators are done and you're not getting contracts and closings, then usually there's a conversion issue or education issue or lack of inventory issue or a lack of knowing the inventory issue.
So one thing that really stands out to me when you talk about tracking and measuring all of this, if you have a CRM that has, a few thousand leads in all of these different categories, it can seem like trying to hunt down all this information about each individual lead and client can seem to be pretty tasking. But the way how you're mapping it out, it sounds like when you go into the CRM, it's just a matter of a few clicks to really keep track and measure out all of these things that are going on with your clients.
Super easy. And it's, you just open it up and the things that you need to do today are there. If you're searching for certain clients, you punch in their name, their email, all their records are right there, their phone number, their email, their spouse. Some of them, if you know their date of birth or their anniversary date, you can put all these things into a system so that you have all the information that helps you where you don't have to keep it all up here. And then it helps you able to scale your business for sure. But it's super, I don't even know if it sounds complicated. We use it every day, so it's not. But the software programs, they're not supposed to make your life complicated. They make it easier. And the CRM you choose should be really easy to use and intuitive, especially in 2021.
Absolutely. And so when you're using all these different communication tools and tracking aspects of it, I was wondering if you could take me through kind of the day-to-day when an agent comes into the office and they've come back from showings and they're starting to get into all the different texts, emails, and phone calls they're making throughout the day. How would they go about best interacting with the CRM?
So, the first thing is kind of checking, you have to prioritize everything. So, you'll want to check on the to-dos, things that you've assigned yourself to do today, so that you don't forget. And then, so that's usually a box somewhere in the CRM that says to-dos, and it'll be for today. And there'll be things that you maybe scheduled a month ago or 2 months ago or a week ago that are one reason or another due today. So I like starting with the to-dos. Also the hot leads, if there's anything that needs to be done within the leads that are planning on buying or selling within the next 30 days. And then kind of going down the priority of the ones that you need to check into. Is that what you were talking about? Like how to kind of,
Yeah.
am I covering it?
Yeah.
But a lot of the agents will start our day in the beginning of the day is more of trying to client outreach, looking for any new clients that need our help, whether it's buyers or sellers, and kind of do that in the beginning of the day, and then mid-morning start getting into the tasks that are assigned for today, and then going down the priority list.
And one of the biggest things that comes to mind for me is looking at this from the business perspective of real estate is definitely very interesting. And one big component that I think is interesting to talk about the connection with is how this interacts with the typical consumer or client who's looking at real estate in the area. So when they go to that first page of Google and they go to Zillow or they go to the Reynolds team website, how does all of that data communicate with each other?
So I guess there's two pieces in there. If they're not already a client of ours, and they are on our website or one of the other referral partners, the contact information will flow right in the CRM automatically. And then they'll be able, we have 3 MLSs that feed our CRM so that we are able to give the buyer client experience the full MLS of all, from anywhere from northern Melbourne all the way down to Miami, feeding right into our website. So they have all the listings that are possible. So they have the MLS right at their fingertips in our website. If they're already a client of ours and they're searching for property, they're getting a really nice integrated system that is sending them alerts, whether they want them instantly or daily or monthly, and of homes, and they can star, heart, or favorite and communicate with us right from their own device. Same thing with sellers. It's really nice setting up the sellers on a search when their home is on the market, and they can see the other homes that come to the market and pending and sold that are like theirs while their home is being marketed. I found it's a really nice communication piece that's real time with the seller. So that's kind of the consumer experience within the CRM.
Well, it's definitely very interesting. And I think another interesting aspect that this gets at is that, especially in this day and age with so much technology involved in the business, it's really the physical interaction of pitching yourself is really been almost fully taken to the online perspective of it, in really where the first impression that a consumer, a client has of the Reynolds team or of a real estate agent is not so much coming from a billboard or an advertisement anymore. It's coming whatever the Google search is that comes up.
Yeah, and the digital experience. So you have to make that seamless, but to be 100% honest about everything is I still love the in-person interaction and being live with somebody. If we have to with Zoom like this, or if we're get the opportunity to meet with them in person, I still think the human relationships are key, but sometimes it's not practical. And so you definitely have to have the digital experience and the systems in place to manage everything. So that's why I thought, when, you invited me to the podcast, I thought, something that I've been recently been getting asked about is how we manage our business and the CRM. And I don't believe that there is a one system for everybody. There's a lot of different software out there. We've just kind of worked through some of the processes and bugs, if you will, and found the ones that are the most effective for us. We're always looking at enterprise level type systems because they end up getting updated better and they usually integrate better. But there's less expensive systems and probably more expensive systems. It just all depends on what the agent's needing. So, but we have it all put together here on the team. So for sure.
Well, it definitely seems like a very neat and tidy package with a lot of different details that keep revolving, but it's definitely seems as though it's kind of like your own orchestra online in a way that you can manage and kind of see how all these different leads feed out to different agents, how well the communication's going, and really be able to measure in real time how you're doing on keeping on top of your goals from the agent's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it helps the agent manage their business, and it helps us with the lead distribution and everything's in a automated sense, and it's really nice. So I guess the takeaway from all this is interview a few if you're an agent and you're considering a CRM, then and you're a single agent or you're a team and you're looking at doing that. This is kind of the fundamentals that we've been using for years, and I just wanted to share it. If you're a single agent and you're like, hey, I don't want to do all this, and I would like to talk with a team, we're here, so we'll be able to give you some advice and be happy to talk with you.
Well, thank you very much, Scott, for coming on the show and telling us your trade secrets.
Oh, this is like G14 classified. So not kidding. So yeah, no. Thanks for having me. Thanks for putting it all together. So I really appreciate it. All my information will be below. So if anyone would like to reach out directly to me, feel free to do so, and let me know if I could do anything to help.
Absolutely. And stay tuned for more episodes of the Reynolds Team Podcast.
Thank you. Bye.